Hello, everyone. Wanted to welcome you to the Global Perspectives seminar. My name is Michael McMullen, and I'll be teaching the seminar for these next 3 weeks for you. So I wanted to do a quick video for you just to kind of go over some things for the class. This class used to be done in person, and then we realized during COVID we did it online, and we thought we could keep doing it online. So we are. But I wanted to do three things for you. I wanted to give you kind of a quick overview of the class. I want to look over Moodle with you to kind of point out some things to you, and then give just a real brief kind of intro to studying culture, etc. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see the class, and you'll see my name there and my email there. And please feel free to reach out via email if you'd like. Some of you have already done that. I know the late start to this class kind of threw a few of you, but we really try to delay this one just a little bit, let you get adjusted to the new semester and that kind of stuff. And again, because it's shortened to class, really we can kind of move it back and still be finished in plenty of time. So anyway, here are some things about the class to mention. I mentioned my name is Michael McMullen, and I teach part-time at Lee in social sciences, and may have had some of you for sociology a couple years ago. I teach this class, and um, some things about the course here. You'll see there are 10 topics. We used to have, this class was, we met 18 times, so 3 times for 6 weeks. And like I said, we kind of rethought everything during COVID, and really sort of condensed all this into just 10 topics. And I'll look at those with you here in just a second. There are some readings. All of them are PDFs, which are generally 2, 3, 4 pages long, not very long at all. They're all there on Moodle. No need to buy a textbook. Everything is there. There will be some quizzes, and I'll show you those in just a bit. And those are based straight from the readings. So you can do the reading and then pull up the quiz, and it's fine to leave the PDF open as you're kind of going through that. I mentioned final exam, and the exam is in quotes because really it's like a big quiz. It's really just kind of a cumulative of the 5 quizzes that we've already had, maybe a couple extra questions for you there. So we do have sort of 3 assignments in this class. All right, so 2 of them are pretty simple: the journal and the case study. And so when you get to those sections, those topics in Moodle, you'll see we give a video to explain it. There's a PDF to explain it. Essentially, the journal is give you practice. When you go on your cross-cultural experience, you'll need to journal. This is not like, Dear Diary like you did in middle school. This is technically ethnographic field notes. Okay, so we called it journal, so it sounds less intimidating, but really what you're doing is kind of giving notes from your day, what happened that day, but also reflections on the day and some questions for the next day. The case studies, while you're traveling abroad, you will be interviewing some people that are from that culture. Okay, and so we give you these 2 assignments so you can get some practice. You can practice journaling a day, whatever your day is like, and then you can practice interviewing someone who comes from a different culture than your own. Okay. Number 6 is the big thing, the reflection paper, and I'll show you this in Moodle in just a second. This is a project to kind of prepare you for your trip. Some of you are planners and preparers, and the moment you found out you were going somewhere, you started Googling things and looking up maps and that kind of stuff. So for those of you who do that, this will just kind of collecting all that into one place. For those who are not planners, we're going to ask you to do a little bit of planning, to think about where you're going to go, and to do a little planning. I'll kind of go over that here in a second. And then finally, hopefully we're going to meet via Zoom together for like a final group reflection. I know with 20 something people, that can be tough to kind of get our schedules together. So I'll send something out, a little survey. Maybe we can come up with a date that most of us can get together for, and those who can't, we'll just do an alternate assignment for that. So okay. So let me show you Moodle. I made mention of a few things, and I'm going quickly, but you can always pause and listen again or go back and watch again if you need to. Let me show you on Moodle a few things. And I think we've organized the class pretty quickly, pretty easily to see. Oops, I'm back in my wrong thing. Sorry. It's basically organized into 10 things. Here we go. Sorry. All right. So you can see here, Moodle, there's me, there's my email address. If you have an emergency, you can text me, but you should probably tell me who you are. Don't just, hey, what's up? Let me know what's going on. Feel free to email. I try to answer emails within 24 hours. So please do that. There's some links here. There's a little intro video to the global experience you can check out. There's the syllabus, all those kind of things here at the beginning. As you can see, the class is organized in these 10 topics, like I mentioned. Okay, so there's all 10 of them you can see. Today is the core values. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Turn that off. Now you know it's live, right? We'll talk about the project here in a second, and we'd look at the difference between cross-cultural study, evangelism, benevolence, some stuff on how do you define cultures. Traditionally, we've met for the cultural relativism. Again, I'm going to send something out, and we'll see what your availabilities are as far as like meeting for a Zoom for 45 minutes or so. This is the ethnography and case studies I mentioned to you, the journal writing, another kind of lecture on culture shock, and then that last project for you. Okay. Typically for each kind of thing, I give you kind of a to do. All right. I'll be adding this video once it's finished right here for you to watch. And then we kind of go over what should you do today, right, for this class. This is asynchronous for the most part, which means you do it at your own schedule. There are some due dates. That's just to kind of keep you on track and keep you so we're all finished around the same time. Again, our course dates are up here are starting on 17th. We're going to be finished in about 3 weeks on the 7th, and then you'll have a global perspective and you can move on with the rest of your semester. Okay. So you can see typically we'll say, okay, watch the video, read this PDF, and there's the PDF, and then do the quiz, and right there it is. Okay. For that research project, I mentioned you should go ahead and get started on this like right now. Okay, go ahead and get started. And there's some info down here for you. Check out these PDFs. Okay, as far as our little video as well. Check these things out to get an idea for this. Right, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. We've laid it out for you pretty easily, and even give you a template to follow. And you should follow that, right? Make it real easy to kind of go through these projects and do that. So, essentially, you're going to be thinking ahead on your trip where you're going to go. I don't know that we have any international students in this class that are exempt, but if that's you, right, then you have a little bit different project, right? You can look down and see there's some stuff for exemptions, right here, cultural research project for exemptions. So if you're an international student and Lee is your cross-cultural experience, then you'll do a different reflection for that. Okay, so here's the stuff on, again, topic number 2. We introduce it right away, that way you can get started. Go ahead and do an outline right away and get working on it. Okay, and again, most of these things here, what you're going to do, right? Read the PDF. Here's a couple of videos. There's a worksheet I want you to do, and then a quiz. All right. So again, this is not a super difficult class. It's really kind of, can you follow through with what we've laid out here, these 10 topics, and get everything sort of finished up. And again, we've got some dates on some things. And these dates really are to kind of help you stay on track. Okay. That we were all finishing around the same time. Probably the 2 things that I think I guess the biggest issues with this class are one, maybe people not starting right away. They see that February 7th, they're like, I can start on the 6th, I'll be fine. Don't do that. Okay, it's going to be difficult for you. It's not difficult work, but it is some work to do, and so you just kind of need to start on it, get it going. The other thing, and I hate to mention this because I'm sure none of you would ever even think about this, right? And that is plagiarism. Okay, so do your own work. It's not a group project. I realize that some of you may be in this seminar together and you're going to the same place. You're about to go on a trip together or whatever it might be. that's fine. And you guys can talk about it and reflect about it and plan about it, but make your project your own. Okay. Put things into your own words. Do not copy and paste somebody else's stuff or somebody from a previous semester. All right. That just creates drama, and I have to make you redo it, or I have to give you an F, and you can't go on your trip and all that kinds of stuff. So let's just avoid that. All right. It's not difficult. You can do it. I feel confident that you can do it. Okay. So, but go ahead and get started. Take a look at all those things and get a sense of the projects and assignments and what's going on. Okay. Last thing, let me just mention a couple things about culture and the class. Again, this used to be something we took several weeks to kind of go over. And one of the topics that we would talk about is how do you define culture? And so just to kind of mention a couple things for you to think about. And this is some of this is in the readings as well. But one of the things we hear a lot today is we talk about the culture, right? The culture today. And that's really like wildly inaccurate, because there are actually hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of cultures, and all of us are a part of different cultures. Okay. And so we're going to make the distinction between culture and society. All right. Society are the people that we know. All of us are a part of society. We're part of subgroups and communities, things like that. And the culture are the things that those people do. All right. So cultures are the things that societies do. And we typically measure that in a couple of ways here. We do it with material culture and non-material culture. And material culture is the easy stuff. All right. The second you get off a plane, the second you arrive at your location, you will see material culture. You'll see physical objects. You will see signs in different languages. You will hear sounds you never heard. People talking in a different language. You'll smell foods or things that you never smelled before. Right? All these things will be different. Clothing, music, art. The cars will look different. Right? Everything will look a little bit different. And those are the things that are easy to spot. When we spot those things, we're just traveling around our own country sometimes, right? If you grew up in South Georgia and you took a trip to New York City, immediately you saw how different the things on the surface were. Material culture was different. It just looked different than what you were used to, and sounded different, and all those things that we sense. Okay. So those are the easy stuff. That's the stuff, that's the low-hanging fruit that everybody finds when they go on their cross-cultural experience. The point why we do this seminar, the point of these trips is for you to dig a little deeper and experience non-material culture. And these are the things that are beneath the surface, right? So you notice that the clothing is different. Why? Why is the clothing different? Like, how is it different? What makes it different? Is there a reason behind that? Non-material culture looks at beliefs and attitudes and values. It's looking at the behaviors behind things. And so when they eat different foods than us or have different music, well, what's the history behind that? What's the meaning behind that? What goes into that? Okay, what we find is that cultures, these behaviors, these beliefs, these attitudes, these physical things, these actually assign meaning to the people that we're visiting. Okay, and so a good example, I guess, if food is a good example, entertainment, sports. All right, if you've been at Lee in the last little bit and been in the South, you know that college football is a big deal. All right. And so it would not take someone very long if they arrived in the South to realize, oh, this college football thing is a big deal. Like, people spend a lot of money on it. It's on TV all the time. People wear the logos everywhere, right? There's more to that. So that's the easy stuff. The big question would be why? Why is it a big deal, right? And we get into things about these. This is part of our subculture, right? People identify with where they're from. They identify with Georgia or Alabama or Tennessee or Michigan or wherever you're from, right? You feel a connection to those things, and there's meaning for those things. A lot of people grew up wearing or cheering for those football teams, and so there's cultural meaning in that kind of stuff, right? So we want you to figure that out as you're traveling somewhere new. Okay, so again, these trips are for you to experience something new, to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, to get out of your bubble. And so this seminar is meant to help you think through that a bit and maybe give you a few ideas to pack away so that when you're on your trip, you can come back a different person, really come back thinking a little bit differently, at least experiencing things and sometimes appreciating your own culture a little more than you did before you left. So looking forward to the class. I love traveling and I love cross-cultural experiences and have enjoyed leading students places around the world and the US as well. And so I want you to really get something out of this that can be useful to you while you're going on your trip. All right. So again, feel free to reach out to me. Email probably is the best way if you need to. And I try to respond pretty quickly. But anyway, I hope you're going to enjoy the class. I mean that sincerely and get something out of it. All right. See you soon.